Speaking of which, there's another celebration this week that perhaps won't mean a lot to some, but for many musicians the world over, their patron Saint Cecilia's Day has always been a bit of an excuse for a good old knees up, like they need one. And the Royal College of Music always gives Cecilia a bit of a do. So, yes, Songs of Praise went along to see how they do it, and this week's presenter, Stephanie Hughes, remembers her own time at the college.
The last time I walked into this hall must have been about 15 years ago, and I had to sit my oral tests, and I sat at the back somewhere. It was absolutely hopeless, and I failed because I couldn't hear properly because there was a pneumatic drill going on outside somewhere. And I came back and I redid it and it was fine. But there's an atmosphere when you walk in through the doors of a place like this that it's, I don't know what it is, it's very difficult to describe. I think it's the history, the people that have walked through these doors, the people that have made such successful careers, whether it's been performing or composing. And it's a very, very tough world out there for musicians.
I hate that hymn because the first time I actually did it was at my school, and it starts with a very, very exposed bottom pedal note like that, and I got it wrong. First time I ever played in school chapel, I got it wrong, hit sort of something like that, and it was destroying, completely destroying. So I have a phobia about this hymn, so I hope I get it right.
Taking part today in the chorus and in the orchestra is nearly half the student population of the Royal College of Music, which comes from over 30 nations around the world.
Something like tonight's going to be, a great experience just from the point of view of, doing the recording, put yourself in the spot, put yourself under a bit of pressure. It's all a great experience from that kind of point of view. At college we're used to doing a whole series of concerts, but it's just that added piece of pressure playing in front of the camera, I suppose. Yeah.
I think it's been really interesting, actually.
It's quite an insight.
The precision involved in it.
The amount of wires and cameras and
that
things.
really big one that swings around.
You don't realise how long it takes either.
Yeah.
You think, because it's going to be half an hour programme, it's going to take like half an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
But it takes a day, hold it. Am I supposed to say that?
I think it's very exciting just starting off on your career, because that really is what music college is. You've made it to a wonderful place such as the Royal College of Music, and your dreams are already starting to be fulfilled. And it's just exciting. You're never quite sure what's round the next corner.
My own career has taken me away from performing and into broadcasting. But no matter what I've ended up doing, I wouldn't do anything else. I would always have a career in music.
Is in 35 minutes on BBC One after Songs of Praise with Stephanie Hughes.
From London, a feast of music with the brilliant young musicians from the Royal College of Music. In tonight's programme, we talk to one of the country's most famous musicians, we meet a student for whom music is a life-giving force, and we look at Orpheus, a new imaginative arts project. The magnificently restored Albert Memorial in South Kensington in London. And this is where some of the capital's most prestigious artistic and cultural institutions are to be found. The Natural History, Science and Victoria and Albert Museums, Imperial College, the Royal College of Art, and of course the Royal Albert Hall. And directly opposite the Albert Hall is the world-famous Royal College of Music. And that's where choirs, orchestra and friends of the college are all gathered together to sing their songs of praise in honour of Saint Cecilia, the patron saint of music. The traditional view of Saint Cecilia, a young lady playing the organ surrounded by angels. But how exactly did she become the patroness of music? Well, quite frankly, no one knows for sure. Certainly, she became a saint and a martyr of the early Christian church when she was beheaded in Sicily around the year 176 for professing her faith in Christ. But it wasn't until the 15th century that she became the patron saint of music. Well, there are numerous legends about her, especially about her extraordinary voice. It was said to be so beautiful that even the angels couldn't resist it. They were attracted down from heaven to be seated by her side while she was singing her praises to God. The Royal College of Music was founded over 100 years ago by the Prince of Wales, later Edward VII, and it was to rival the great conservatoires of Paris, Berlin and Vienna. In its initial intake, there were only 50 students, divided equally between men and women. The discipline and the morals were extremely strict. Men were only allowed to enter the college by the east stairway, the ladies by the west. Well, since then, some of the most famous names of music have entered through these doors. Vaughan Williams, Benjamin Britten, Colin Davis, Joan Sutherland, James Galway, Andrew Lloyd Webber, and many, many others. Well, today, there are over 500 students from 50 different countries, all striving for excellence. Joanne Lunn, a former BBC Choir Girl of the Year, has just graduated and is starting a career in singing.
I think my voice is definitely a gift from God,
and it is one that I want to share with other people to bring enjoyment. That I want to be a witness in the way that I perform to the best of my ability with the gift that God has given me. The thing about music college is that a lot of your work is one-to-one with a teacher, working specifically on little details and just getting things right and getting techniques really sung in or played in.
The omnipotent Creator.
Make all the concerts quite crisp.
Right.
Keep it intimate, but yet let's have the text very, very clear.
Right.
Once more, and plenty of rhythm at the start.
Music does draw people together because it is an art, it is something which we're all striving for the best. I do love performing, but I hope that that is in a humble way because He has given me a gift which I want to share with others.
Many of our greatest hymn tunes, such as For All the Saints, I Vow to Thee My Country, and Sing On to the Lord, a Joyful Song, were written by composers who were students here at the college. Perhaps they were inspired by the example of Hubert Parry, one of our finest hymn writers. He was Professor of Composition when the college first opened and later became its director for more than 20 years. Well, this is his original handwritten manuscript of his most famous composition, the anthem I Was Glad, specially written for the coronation of Edward VII. And if you take a look at it from its sheer size and for the parts for trumpets, harps and drums, you can see that this was designed to create a blaze of sound.
think God inhabits all of us. I don't think he's something outside of us. I think that we live creation. He's still busy, if we can refer it as if it were something outside of us, that we are imbued with infinity, eternity, and that is part of us. And religion is a natural. Man is, by definition, a religious animal. But very often religions and churches have pitted people against each other because they have forgotten religion, and they are true to human nature but not to God. So I believe that we're inhabited by the infinity of the whole, that is in time and space and universe and God, call it, or energy or universal intelligence, which must be admitted. And at the same time, we are each of us unique for the moment.
Well, the power of music is inescapable, whether we turn to it for comfort in sorrow or for celebration and praise in joy. And on this St. Cecilia's Day, we're reminded that music fills hearts and raises spirits. Next week, Pam Rhodes visits the ancient town of Warwick for a candlelit Advent special.